Kyrie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem.
Good morning. Just got back from the gym, and I hate exercising, but I know how good it is. I know physically how it makes me feel better, and I know mentally, emotionally how it makes me feel better. But as a whole, it is so boring. If it wasn't for the phone and listening to music or listening to podcasts, I would never get through exercise. I only went half an hour. You know, on really good days, I can do an hour, and that's it. After an hour, I'm done. But half an hour is good. It's a lot better than nothing, and I have lots of years of nothing. But let's talk about exercise and how important it is. We need to exercise our body, keep it in shape, because most of us don't have physical jobs anymore. Unless you're a tradesman, you know, you're a carpenter, you're working with your hands and stuff. You're sitting in front of a computer, and you're sitting most of the day. So it's very important to exercise the body. But really, our whole person needs exercise. When we exercise, it is actually an invitation to growth, huh? We need to exercise our minds. So you should be either listening to people who are smarter than you or reading people who are smarter than you. You know, and I would say two types of exercise in your mind. One is read people or listen to people you agree with to strengthen your understanding of what you believe in. And then, from time to time, read people who completely disagree with you just to see if you can understand where they're coming from. Maybe you can read their objections to why you believe what you believe, and you just have to agree to disagree. Or it may find you, refining some points. But we want to exercise our mind, because let's be honest, most of the time you want to placate our minds. I mean, I like Netflix and Amazon Prime, and well, here I'm in front of a computer, glowing screen. Numbing out is not a bad thing at times. I like relaxing. I like diversion. But as much as we like diversion, we should really like curiosity. Intellectual curiosity is a good thing. I want to learn something today. You know, we need to exercise our soul. That's why prayer is so important. Studying Scripture. And as a Catholic, you have lives of the saints and the traditions of the church to reflect upon. But really exercise your soul by praying, spending time praying to God, praising God, thanking God, loving God, contemplating God's revelation, God's call, all worthwhile, good things. I mean, that's why worship is so important. Again, I say this often, you can be a good person and never go to church. But if you want to go to heaven and worship God for eternity, you better start practicing now. Because worship is a loving response to God. God doesn't need worship. We need worship. And worship changes us. It's trying to make us fit for living with God for eternity. Because God can't force us to live with Him for eternity. We can only become the type of person that might have a chance at it through His grace and mercy. Otherwise, no. You know, one of the things we need to do is exercise our imagination as adults. I mean, that's why movies are good. That's why Netflix, Amazon Prime, different things, stories. I like board games, and I still like RPGs. You know, and spending time, and I run RPGs. So I think about story all the time. I think what's interesting. I think where it's going, where I'd like to see it go, but where the characters are going to take it, because where they ultimately want to go is probably much more interesting where I want to go. But it's usually some combination of both. But exercising, you know, getting out and voting. I do care about politics because I care about culture, care about what type of world we live in and what type of world we're going to leave behind, even though it's all going to fade. So on the bigger cosmic scale, it matters almost nothing. But right now, it matters enough because it affects your day-to-day living. It affects your interaction with people. So exercise. Spend your time well. You know, Dennis Prager mentioned in this video I was listening to this morning, his interview with Candace Owen, phenomenal. Listen to anything today, listen to that. It is an excellent interview, he talked a little bit about boredom, how bored people are. And, it's a self-inflicted reality. If you are bored, go look in the mirror. It is because you are boring. Get out and exercise in a multitude of ways. Bye-bye.